Hi everyone, I'm back with another video on the most recent Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode. Normally I wait about a week, but I wanted to do this one sooner just because there's so much to talk about. So for those of you who haven't seen these videos before, please be aware that I'm going to spoil not only what happens in this episode, which is called Turn, 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 but also the previous episode, which was called The Beginning of the End, and of course the Captain America movie that was just released called The Winter Soldier, all of which have story details that are relevant to the discussion. So, crazy things are happening here. As I said in my previous video, it looks like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. actually is HYDRA. When you've got all the top guys in an organization that are part of HYDRA, then, you know, effectively you're working for HYDRA. This is what Coulson finds out along with a few other people in the new episode. The previous episode that aired before Captain America came out, there was some questions as to whether or not Melinda May, played by Ming-Na on the show, was working against them. As it turns out, she's not. She was monitoring Coulson and to see if there would be any sort of manifestations of odd behavior or abilities or what have you as a result of this alien substance that was put in him to regenerate his heart and keep him alive. But yeah, it turns out she's not so bad after all. The bad guy, of course, is Ward. And I read an article that said that works out nicely because not only is Ward the least interesting character, but now we have a legitimate reason to hate him simply because he's, other than the fact that he's simply a boring guy. Now, can I just say right here that I called it, almost, I sort of called it. Back when Bill Paxton first appeared on the show, I thought to myself, there's going to be some big guest star playing the clairvoyant, who is supposedly the big bad for this season. It probably is him, just because he's, you know, the biggest out of all the guest stars. I didn't mention this in my last video, but there was one other indication that it might be the clairvoyant, because he has a key dialogue scene with Skye, talking about how, as the supervising officer to Ward, he has seen him change as a result of being on this team, and sort of saying that's all down to you. You know, you and the team have had an interesting effect on him. And I figured that they wouldn't bother having a one-on-one scene between him and her unless he actually did turn out to be the villain of the film, of the season. Because Skye is sort of like the window character for this show. She is the newbie to the team, and so we're introduced to a lot of concepts and a lot of other things that happen at S.H.I.E.L.D. Involving S.H.I.E.L.D. adventures through her. So having the two of them have a close conversation would be appropriate if he turned out to be the villain, and he did. He announced himself as HYDRA, along with a few other characters, and I was just like, yeah, I thought it would be him. I was kind of hoping it would be him, actually, just because, you know, Bill Pax and everything like that. We were led to believe at a certain point that Agent Han, played by Saffron Burrows, would be S.H.I.E.L.D., and apparently she's not, but I mean, she still could be as far as I'm concerned. They did this little test earlier on where she comes in, and who does she confront? Simmons and Triplet, right, Simmons and Triplet, two of the good guys. And she's got guys with guns all around her, and she says, you know, well, seems HYDRA's taken over for S.H.I.E.L.D., so you either swear loyalty to HYDRA right now, or we shoot you down. And they're like, nope, we're not doing that. And we're like, good, you passed the test, you're okay. Now I was thinking to myself, gee, she could have told these guys, okay, whatever they say, we'll just go along with, okay? If they say we're HYDRA, we'll tell them, great, we're HYDRA too. If they say they're not HYDRA, then we'll say, good, you passed the test, because we need to lure in the rest of their team and make sure that they feel safe before we wipe them out, because we're actually HYDRA. That didn't happen, so I have a feeling that, you know, they're not actually HYDRA. And as it turns out, I was right about that, because Garrett and Ward got together in the last scene and shot them all down, shot Agent Hand and her men down in the plane in the last scene. Now, I was thinking to myself, okay, this is a little strange, because at the very beginning of the episode, we see Garrett flying in his plane, and he gets missiles launched at him, and he needs Coulson's help to get out of the situation. So I'm wondering, okay, S.H.I.E.L.D. is taken over by HYDRA, and HYDRA is eliminating people that they know aren't HYDRA, but they didn't know that Garrett was HYDRA because they shot at him. So what kind of sense does that make? Either Garrett didn't tell them, which is why they thought that he wasn't Hydra, or S.H.I.E.L.D. thought that he was Hydra. No, that doesn't make any sense either. It just, it's weird because we see Agent Hand basically saying we need to kill everyone in Coulson's plane, including Coulson, because he's obviously Hydra because he's been breaking so many rules. Well, Hydra agents don't do that. They make themselves look like the good guys. So first she's saying let's kill Coulson and everybody else, and then they launch missiles at Garrett, but they had no reason at that point to think that he was actually Hydra. So I don't know what was going on there. I guess Hydra shot missiles at him thinking that he was not Hydra, right? I don't know. Anyway, you have this little action sequence in the beginning, and that looked nice and everything, but yeah. Doesn't make a lot of sense in retrospect. Of course, Sitwell. Sitwell is the agent who went from a S.H.I.E.L.D. episode into the Captain America movie, and turns out that he was Hydra. And of course, Robert Redford was Hydra, and a lot of other people turned out to be Hydra. So at the end of the episode, Agent Hand, who is now dead at this point, and Coulson said, we may be the highest-ranking S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents that aren't Hydra. She seemed to say that everyone except for Nick Fury, who is at level 9 and 10, which are the highest levels, are all Hydra agents. And we're the only level 8 agents that are not Hydra, right? So that means that since she's dead, Coulson is effectively the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. now. Coulson is, except of course for all the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents that are actually Hydra, all the non-Hydra agents, Coulson is like the top. Him and Garrett, maybe. Well, of course, Garrett's Hydra, actually. It's going to be, I think, maybe elucidated a little bit better in future episodes. But yeah, they're all kind of screwed because if the top guys, in fact, are all Hydra, then essentially S.H.I.E.L.D. is Hydra. Of course, all the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents that aren't Hydra are probably going to break away and fight against them. I don't know how that's going to work. Seeing as how this is taking place all over the world, and on a TV budget they have to sort of limit the locations to the plane and the hub or whatever facility that they're at for that episode, whatever town they're in for that episode. Yeah, they're going to have to go epic on this in order to really do it justice. But it has made things fun. Yeah, here's the funny thing. I figured Ward would get killed in this episode. I thought for sure he was going to get killed. Because that's what happens when people, after a long period of sort of semi-flirtation, finally get together. He and Skye kind of go, yeah, I would like to, get together with you sometime. It would be great to just, develop further the personal side of our relationship rather than the agent side. So they say, okay, we'll have a drink later on, we'll have a chat, and then of course they kiss because they can't resist. And I figure, okay, he's dead, okay, because this is what happens. It happened in Dollhouse, it happened to Taro and Willow in Buffy, two people who get together. Oh, it happened in Angel too, as soon as Fred gets together with Wesley, later on in the episode she contracts like a alien parasite and then she dies. Yeah, sorry if I gave that away for anyone who hasn't seen Angel episodes yet. Yeah, I figured Ward's a dead man. He's on the plane, he's there with Garrett, Hands, still could be a Hydra, but he gets up, he accepts her invitation to shoot Garrett. Instead, of course, he shoots the other guys and he shoots her, and now it's him and Garrett. They're the top Hydra agents for the show, I guess. So, if our hero characters, Coulson and the team, and Skye and all of them, don't find out about Ward, then he could rejoin their team and be like, yeah, I'm on your side, and be like a Hydra agent the entire time for the second season. I don't know. We'll find out. We will find out. Patton Oswalt is supposed to guest star in next week's episode, I think. That's what I read, so I'm really looking forward to that. He was in Dollhouse. He was in one of the very best episodes of Dollhouse. What else? That's pretty much it. Fitz is awesome. Fitz is my favorite character in the show. He's the most fun. He has the best moments. Ming-Na Wen is starting to grow on me. She has been sort of super, what's the word I'm looking for? Taciturn. Yes, that's right, taciturn. She and Coulson are competing for most taciturn character on the show, other than Ward, of course. She gets to cut loose a little bit here. and really express some actual emotion, which was nice in this new episode. So yeah, she's all good. Coulson's good. The duo Fitz and Simmons, of course, they're great. Sky's all right, of course, nice to look at, of course, and Ward is very, very naughty boy, as is Garrett. Yay! So, looking for the next episode. Looking forward to the next episode, of course. Hope you are too. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you've enjoyed this series I've been doing, if you've been keeping up with it. I want to thank Puckbond007 especially for commenting regularly. He's a great guy, of course. He's with me on the Movie Reviewers 100. Great guy. Thanks again, EJ, for commenting on these videos. I hope that you get to see Captain America, because otherwise you're going to have to avoid all these videos. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you again real soon. Bye.